All right. Cheers, metalheads. We're going to talk about something fun today. So, there's a lot of bands that are sort of anomalies out there that they just they came out of nowhere with one classic full-length record. They completely crush it. They make their way into metal history, and then for whatever reason, completely vanish. I wanted to go over nine of these records. I'm sure there's more out there. Let me know in the comments. These are just ones I own, have listened to a lot, and want to talk about. And one quick caveat: most of these bands have a compilation or an EP out there in the world, but only one full length. And that's really the only qualifier I use for this list is one full length record. So without further ado, 9 bands that made one amazing full length record and disappeared completely. So there's a jarring jump cut after that intro because I realized my audio was all fucked up. All right, but anyway, jumping right in for real. This is Repulsion, Horrified. Needs no introduction. Grindcore classic, always makes it into the top 5 grindcore albums lists all over the internet. Got the picture disc version here. If you never heard this, get on it. It's essential listening. Metal history right here. It's really kind of the first grindcore album. And, it's fucking grindcore, so what am I really supposed to say about it? It's 30 minutes long, so even if you don't like it, just tough it out. It's a good album. Check it out. Don't know why they didn't make more. Okay. Sticking with grindcore here. Don't worry, I got other shit if you're not a grindcore fan, but Insect Warfare, World Extinction. Another mammoth grindcore release. Huge classic among that genre. I almost didn't include this. These dudes do have a lot of compilations and EPs out there, easily accessible material on YouTube. You can listen to their whole discography in like an hour and 20 minutes. But this is 30 minutes of sheer fucking brutality. It's one of the heaviest things I've ever heard. It's bitchin'. Again, it's grindcore, so I don't have a ton to say. Just listen to it if you like grind. Alright. Lube up. So, I'm pretty sure Nesspythe means penis or phallus or something in Finnish. These fucking weirdos, Demilich, Nesspythe, I don't know. This is a weird ass record. It really is. It's some really odd time signatures, odd key shifts, and very odd vocals. This sounds like some dude is crawled out of a swamp to puke blue cheese in your face. It's ridiculous. I can't even start to mimic it. And then the other fun part of these guys, look at these song titles quick. I don't know what they're going for, but I absolutely love this record. This is a maybe top 5 of all-time death metal for me. It's incredibly out there. Just these weird swamp monster vocals, really weird tonalities and odd choices all around. If I had to pick one word, it's deranged. It's really good first date music. Bust this out right away when you're on your next Tinder date. I'm sure it will go well for you. Alright, next up, we got Thugothen. Thugothen. I'm not sure. Stream from the Heaven. So this is some funeral doom for you. A little different than everything else I've talked about. This is a classic in this genre. It tends to make almost every top 10 doom list you ever see. Why these guys disbanded after making something like this, I don't know. So when I inevitably die of liver failure, this is what I want played at my funeral. This is an atmospheric record. I don't want to say emotional. I think that's overused in funeral doom. Like, obviously it's emotional. They're trying to talk about suicide and shit, and So I don't want to cheapen it and say that it has an intense atmosphere. It's very keyboard heavy. It has vocals very similar to Demi-Lich actually, but in a completely different way. But they kind of sit there and burp at you. I don't know. I can't do it. I'm not a death metal vocalist. Anyway, if you've never heard it, you need to hear it. Why it's their only record, completely baffles me. I don't know. It's great, and they should have kept going. Number 5. In the same vein, Disembowelment, Transcendence. Oh shit! I wrote that caption. I'm not fixing it. Too lazy. Too drunk. Transcendence into the peripheral. This is another very great Death Doom album. I specified Death Doom because it actually has some spots where the drums pick up. They have stuff you could maybe consider a blast beat. But then there's also these long, doomy ambient sections. It's an interesting record, really is. I can't say I listen to it a ton, but I really respect it. These guys are out of Australia, and much like Thugothen, I don't know how you make a record this good and then just disband. I feel like was all your creative juices taken up in one burst? Okay, I guess that makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay, I'm just going to stop talking. Alright. Stepping back into the death metal world. Ripping Corpse, Dreaming with the Dead. This is a severely underrated death metal record. The guitarist on this is Eric Rutan. He's the guy who played on Morbid Angel, Domination. Later went on to be in Hate Eternal. As much as I like those things, this is my favorite record he ever played on. If you like death metal and you have not listened to this, I can't recommend it enough. It's criminally underrated through history. I like it for the same reason I like the Demi-Lich album. It's got a lot of weird shit on here. It's not your average death metal record. It's got really great lyrics if you bother to look them up. Yeah, I mean, once again, no said it a million times, but just check this shit out. Alright, next one. We got a bunch of Swedes doing their best Morbid Saint impression. Their best Demolition Hammer impression. Fuck, Morbid Saint only has one record. Alright, I that's one I should have put on here, Morbid Saint. Fuck. I even own that vinyl. Okay, but anyway, next list. This record fucking rips. It's thrash metal straight up. If you like, well, it's that more death-oriented thrash metal. It's not like the 80s Megadeth sound. It's way more along the lines of like Demolition Hammer, Morbid Saint, maybe early Creator. It's just some heavy balls to the wall shit with really good guitar work all the way through. Really good guitar solos. And again, for whatever reason, some 3 very talented dudes just completely hung it up after this. Blew their wad, one album. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe they all hated each other this whole time they were recording this. Who knows? But yeah, if you got a taste, if you want some new thrash you maybe have never heard, I check this one out. It'll blow your mind. All right, we're going back to doom metal. Winter into Darkness. This is actually a really early record in the funeral doom world. Well, this isn't really funeral doom, but it's starting to get there. This has some incredibly slow tracks, and these guys are one of the few I can point to. I think I know why they broke up so fast. This was a brilliant album that I don't think caught on at all. It was just ahead of its time. They were doing tours with, like, they were opening for Death and stuff. And I think if you were a guy who loved Death and wanted to see some really technical guitar playing and shit, and these guys opened up, you were probably sitting there like, what the fuck? It's just an oppressive slow, trudging record. I love this shit, but I also can understand, even if you like Doom, why you might not. I think it's a bit like enjoying Citizen Kane. Like, you have to appreciate it for what it is. This was just a landmark record. I think it's getting its respect and dues now, but definitely underappreciated in its time. And I can see why maybe these guys called it quits pretty quick, which is a shame. Alright, I most definitely saved the best for last, and this is my secret motivation for making this video, because I want to show off that I own this. Weakling, Dead as Dreams. This is a ridiculously good black metal album. I think it's the best US black metal album of all time, like hands down. I would say it's atmospheric black metal, much like Burzum. You know, it has a similar like shrieky vocal style, except they were smart. They turned the vocals down in the mix, so it's less like Varg putting his balls in your face, and more like listening to some dude get stabbed in the other room. But that's a good thing. It's a good thing. And then they've just got this amazing riff building, and this is one of my favorites of all time. In fact, I'm sure I'll find an excuse to talk about this again eventually, and I'll do so more coherent, because there's a lot of whiskey drinking in the takes you guys don't see. So, you know, by the end of this, I'm a little more scattered, and that's not really the best formula for YouTube material. But listen to this. Just listen. It's on YouTube. You can go find it. If you... Okay, how about this? If you listen to this and you don't like it for some reason, get in the comments and I'll argue with you for a long, long time about why this is so good. And I'll do it more coherently than just me ranting at my webcam in my room, okay? Alright, that's it. That's all I got. So there's 9 records that, for whatever reason, exist on their own as metal monoliths. If you got ideas for other videos for me to do, anything like that, let me know. This is a pretty fresh baby channel. As you can tell, I still suck at editing, but I'll get there. So let me know if there's something you want to see. Otherwise, I'm just going to make whatever I think makes sense. And I'll see you on the next one.